What is going on, and welcome back to another episode of iCoach Nutrition Radio. Excited for today's podcast dive. We're going to dive into the subject of how to buy healthy food for your family and you at the same time. I get this a lot from clients where they're like, my family's just not on board with this. My husband or wife is not on board with this. My kids are not on board with this in terms of wanting to eat healthy and live a healthy lifestyle. Right. We've got accustomed to these ways of just eating, very unhealthy, just mostly junk food, just eating fast food all the time, restaurant food all the time, never eating vegetables and fruits, really just like not prioritizing nutrition and not prioritizing living a healthy lifestyle. And so because of this, now it seems like such a challenge to be able to get other people in your family on board. And so what this podcast is all going to be about is essentially, some tactics, some strategies that can kind of help you to just make this transition easier, right? And so what I'll leave with is it starts with you, right? If this is something that you have determined to be something that is important in your life, which I would hope everybody at some point realizes that their health is their greatest asset, and that nutrition plays a very big role in the quality of your life and how you feel and how you look and how you perform. And nutrition actually allows us to control these things a lot more than what people can give it credit sometimes. And so it starts with you, right? Once you've determined that this is something that's important to you, something that is something that you value, right? And you want to make it a part of your life, you want to make it a priority in your life, it starts with you, right? It starts with you leading from the front, right? It's not, hey, let's tell our spouse that we're going to try some diet, right? And the spouse in the back of their head, they're like, oh, Lord, here we go again, right? Well, I'll give them a week before they fall off of that, right? It's one of these things where you've got to be committed to a lifestyle change, right? And so it starts with the decision, right? And then from there, it goes into taking action and being consistent. And again, starting to transform your lifestyle and making this much more a part of your life, right? Because it's truly what it is. It's not a quick fix. It's not a 1 week thing here, a 7-day meal plan or a 30-day challenge. It really has to be a lifestyle change. And it has to be a realization that you have where, if you want to be around for a long time, if you want to be around for your kids and your grandkids and you want to live the best quality life that you can, nutrition is going to have to be something that you prioritize. And, the sad thing is most people don't ever have that realization, or they have that realization later in life. And by that point, it's not too late, but it definitely starts to become more and more challenging as you get older and older and older. And not so much because of your metabolism and different things like that. It's a lot more just because of your beliefs, your traits, your skill sets, the habits that have been formed and ingrained into you, right? They're like clockwork. And so it takes more work to combat years and years and years and years and years, decades and decades and decades of habits that have been formed, rather than being able to nip some of this stuff in the butt, at an earlier age. So again, it starts with you. It starts with you leading from the front for your family. No different than anything else in your life that you deem to be important in your life. The core values that you've implemented and deemed to be important in your life, and that you want to instill, into your spouse, into your kids, the way that you want to live your life and be known as, the legacy that you want to be, the legacy you want to live behind. This plays a huge role, and it's very, very similar, right? And so you have to create belief in your family members before they're going to hop on board with you, right? Especially when it comes to the spouse, right? So for you, you've got to think to yourself, you've got to say, okay, what do I have to work on here? If I can take the next year of my life to make this a priority, to be able to prioritize, again, not being perfect, but slowly but surely start to make positive changes, right? What are your biggest issues that you have with nutrition, right? And how can you start to slowly make changes here in your nutrition to, again, start eating healthier, right? To start living a healthier lifestyle, right? Maybe this is just simply starting to get more vegetables and fruits into your diet. Maybe this is starting to eat more balanced meals. Maybe this is stop eating, eating out so much. Maybe this is to start, getting more hydrated. Maybe this is to start being more active, whatever it may be there. And I don't want to get too much off subject here, because this podcast is going to be mainly about, the grocery shopping and healthy food side of things. But I just want to set the table here, in that this is something that is got to be a holistic approach. It's got to be a lifestyle change. It's not just about the nutrition, right? So when you first start going grocery shopping, you're not going to be able to just do a complete overhaul here and just start only buying healthy foods and only cooking healthy food and expect your family just to jump on board. It's probably not going to happen like that. So you've got to start with you. You've got to start with, hey, these are the healthy foods that I'm going to buy, that I'm going to cook, that I'm going to eat. I'm still going to buy all the other stuff that I've been buying and cooking and eating for the rest of my family so that nothing changes for them. And that's the way that you're going to go about it, right? You're going to focus on you first, right? And they're going to take notice. They're going to start to take notice as you start to feel better, as you start to look better, as you start to perform better, right? And as these positive changes start to happen in your life, they are going to want to adapt these things for themselves as well. It'd be no different than, like with money, with finances. If you have somebody that, if this is like, who doesn't want to like make more money and be more successful in life and things like that. If you have somebody that starts making more money, that starts becoming more successful, like that, it's like a gravitational pull. Like you want to be a part of that. Like you want to learn how they're doing that. You want to figure out how they're doing that, right? They start asking questions. They start becoming and curious, right? And they want to know more. So that's kind of how this process works, right? I mean, who doesn't want to feel their best, look their best, perform their best, right? But so many people think that it's impossible to do. So many people think it's impossible to eat healthy, right? So it starts with you. It starts with you leading from the front, right? And when you can lead from the front, and when you can make this a priority in your life, and when you can actually follow through, right, and lead by example, and actually be consistent, right, and people can start to see the positive changes that are happening in your life, well, they're gonna gravitate towards you. They're gonna start asking questions. You're gonna start getting them more involved. You're gonna slowly start to implement more healthier foods into the household. You're gonna start eating healthier. You're going to start living a healthier lifestyle, and this is going to bleed into the rest of your family here. They're going to start to follow suit. But again, this doesn't happen overnight. This doesn't happen in a few days or in a few weeks or sometimes even in a few months. This might be a year-long or a multi-year long process, right? But again, it starts with you, and once you make the decision to make this a priority in your life, right? Once you follow through with doing the things that you say that are important to you, right? Other people are gonna follow along there too, and you're gonna have much more of an influence than you ever thought you could have, right? Not just changing your life and transforming your life, but also being able to impact your family, your friends, your coworkers, and doing it in a way that's positive, not pushing stuff on people, but people actually wanting to be a part of it. Because again, you're leading from the front in a way that's not pushy, right? You could think about religion here. This could be the same thing, right? I'm a Christian. I'm not sitting here trying to go throw Bibles at people though, right? I want to live my life by example, right? I want to inspire people, encourage people, educate people, and impact people ultimately in a positive way that helps them to live their best life, right? To reach their God-given potential in life, to become the best version of themselves, right? But this is a process, it's a journey. And I would challenge you and encourage you that it's easier than you think it is, right? The process is easy, but it is hard to implement. It's hard to stay consistent. It's hard to, remind yourself of why you're doing this in the first place, and to keep following through the things that you say that you're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one super short, but just know that if you want to start eating healthier, if you want to start living a healthier lifestyle, if you want to be able to encourage your spouse and your kids, right, and your extended family, your friends, your coworkers, right, it starts with you, right? It's extreme ownership on your end. Make it a priority in your life first, right? And over time, you will start to see you influence the people around you, right? And before you know it, a decision that you made is now positively impacting the lives of the people that you love most. So I hope this is encouraging. I hope it helps. I hope it sparks a little nugget there for you. And I hope you go take action on this. And I'll see you a year from now. And hopefully you've made a pretty significant impact in your life because of it. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day. Take care.